guys, welcome back to Tarot by Cherie. We're going to get started on today's reading right away. Happy Saturday to my beloveds. Let's see what uplifting special messages Spirit may have. This party's getting started on a good note here, it looks like. Sort of, kind of. All right, so I'm seeing celebration. This is in regard to something you've been waiting for, Aquarius, okay? This could be like an answer you're waiting for, or just something you're wanting to happen. All right, I see that waiting on this answer has been very difficult. Okay, it's a nail biter, whatever it is. It's like, you know, carrying this weight around on your shoulders on the daily with this Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is you know, just in the center of the deck, and there's a lot of stress involved with this card. Obligations or taking on too much. This can also be your partner possibly taking you for granted. And I am seeing a possible partner over here with this person, and in between the burden and your person, I'm seeing something just not on the up and up here. So I feel like yeah, you're totally annoyed with your person today. This is not for all. This is for some. Your person did something to absolutely annoy you, okay? You feel that this was maybe a white lie, something underhanded, or not given the total truth, like a partial truth type of thing. Okay, let's continue. Ace of Wands, guys. We love the Ace of Wands. Okay, the Ace of Wands is just, well, the Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings. It's also about good news, some type of excitement, something exciting coming in. This looks like it has to do with romance, some type of romance, okay? So this is for those of you who have been not involved with anybody for the longest time. You haven't even thought about it. It's been a long time. All right. I am seeing this Knight of Pentacles coming in. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a very patient, loyal person who is very protective and also persistent. This is somebody who will absolutely bring in happiness and balance, and is like very chill, you know, lets things roll off his back, isn't, you know, somebody who's bothered by every little thing. He's chill, and that's why a lot of you need someone like that in your life. If this is you, comment below the video. If you're single and you feel like you need a very calm person who doesn't get upset, who handles things well with, you know, a beautiful calmness. All right, you could put the thumbs up, or just put the word need somebody calm. I should say words. All right, so with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is about prosperity, wealth, and a high social status with the Justice card, and a lot of hard work here. So I feel like someone, or maybe more than someone, many of you have been diligently working, trying to get ahead, and just kind of feeling like, you know that feeling, 4 steps forward, 5 steps backward kind of thing. But nonetheless, you still had to work really hard. You're finally going to see your justice come in, okay? Boom, your justice is finally showing up for you after all these years of hard work, all these years of strife. You're going to suddenly see things start to turn around. Things may seem to get easier for you. You're going to notice that things are just showing up. You don't even have to, you know, put the energy in anymore. You just have to think it. All right, guys, if this is happening to you, where you're just thinking something and boom, it happens. It could be a person you're thinking of. They text you a second later, or they're calling you or knocking on your door. Or you're just thinking you need a little extra money, and you check the mailbox that day and there's a check in the mailbox. You know, if you're noticing things coming easier this way, and a lot of you should be answering, a lot of you should be feeling this, okay? I'm seeing it. My friends are seeing it. I want you to be very specific and take a moment and just comment below the video. yes, things seem easier, okay? I truly appreciate and love each and every one of you. And, you know, I like to touch base with you and see what you guys are going through, see how you feel, see how I can lift you up or how I can help carry you into the next, you know, moments in time, especially for those of you who are having a difficult time. Don't be afraid to get a reading with me. If you are feeling like you're suffering emotionally, mentally, it doesn't matter. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I'm like a doctor. You know, I've seen it all. I've heard it all. Guys, I've gone to school. I've taken psychology courses. I went to school for counseling. So that is why you'll see in the acronyms I have put life coach. So I'm, you know, a master of many hands. You can contact me if you feel like it's the fit, it will be good, and I can help you in any way. All right, but I am seeing a justice coming in for those of you who have been working your fingers to the bone or feel like that. All right, and I'm also seeing something positive coming in. Some type of good news is going to come to you. All right, a justice is coming in. We keep getting this justice card, guys. Don't ignore the justice card. All right. And for those of you who have gotten a justice, because we've been seeing that justice card all week, pretty much in every reading, please comment below that you received a justice. All right. So I'm seeing this Empress here. Now, it looks like you are desperately, if not desperately, just trying your best to balance things out and bring happiness to yourself, possibly your family, your significant, you know, as a couple perhaps. Like you're just balancing all the balls, trying to bring in, you know, enough money or more money so that, you know, your household is, things are easier and things are a little happier. Okay, and let's continue. I'm seeing something about love here. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of you might be going through some big transition where you're feeling like the person you're with, you're not exactly a fit anymore. All right, I see this Tower moment, and I see a lot of you are coming into your, and some kids are outside screaming. You're coming into your authentic selves, okay? I see this happening and it's creating some rifts, okay? So, yeah, you can't come into your authentic self and suddenly, you know, it's like coming out of the closet. You're just suddenly telling people, okay, I'm not going along with, you know, the usual. I'm going to tell you I feel completely different. I don't care how you feel about it. This is who I really am. And this is how from now on, I'm just going to be saying how I truly feel and who I really am. You're going to see that real person, not just me afraid that, you know, other people are going to disagree or see me as, you know, someone who's not going to fit in anymore because I think differently. No, you are different, Aquarius. You are, you know, somebody who's very high frequency, almost like sometimes you may have felt like you were from another planet. You might have felt like you're a different type of being. You've never did fit in here. Guys, if you feel like you've never fit in school, when you were in school and stuff like that, send me a quick, you know, 3-4 words about that, because that was me. I never fit in school. I was bored to death in school. I couldn't sit there for 6 hours and focus. I was a clock watcher. And, you know, I left as soon as I was old enough, and then I just went back and got my GED, and then I went off to college after that. So, yeah, I had the brain. I couldn't sit there. I felt like I was in jail. All right. So, speaking up for your needs, your wants, some of that might create a Tower moment. People are going to react, okay? And also, it looks like there's someone from afar who's been admiring you, unbeknownst to you, okay? You were unaware of this person who's been kind of, not in a creepy way, but kind of, you know, watching you. Yeah. All right, let's continue and see if we can get more on this. This is very interesting. All right, so All right, so this is maybe very specific for someone, all right? You've been trying to make somebody feel better about something. You've been trying to help them, you've been trying to lift them up, all right? And really putting thought into it. But it's not working, okay? So instead, you're feeling conflicted because nothing you do is helping. This could be like a family member or somebody you're close to, someone in a clique at work, something along that line. And this is bringing in some sadness for you, all right? Just don't go overboard to try to please other people, especially if they're not agreeing with who you truly are and what you believe in. You don't need anybody's, you know, you don't need anybody to agree with you. Just be who you are. We were made like snowflakes, guys. Each of us is different. And that was done for a reason, specifically for a time like this, where each of us has something to offer to the planet. It might be something, minute. It might be something big. But the point is that we all have something special, something different to offer. And if you think about it, once we unite and we're kind to one another and helping one another and loving one another and giving, we are going to do miraculous things that don't entail spending tons of money to get there, that we'll be able to share. We'll be able to share in, say, like, you want to start something in your community. I've been thinking about this, where you get somebody to give you a swath of land or donate it somewhere in the community. You get community members to come in, help you plant, help you seed. Maybe a farmer will help you out. And then you all get to pick from this farm. Or it could be an organic farm. You can start things like this now. You don't have to wait for anything, right? All right, let's continue. I figure, this is something somebody would be able to eventually just come in and do a half an hour a month, an hour's worth of work, once enough people are contributing. And only those people who contribute can come in and, get something, pick from these lands, okay? Also, if there's like elderly people who need the help, who can't, give you their time, because of physical or mental reasonings, then we can just bring them whatever they would like. All right, so I see something coming here, as always, right? This is the big one, guys, okay? I'm seeing movement now. Movement. This is in the pipeline. This is moving. This is moving. And I just heard your accounts are already, the money's already in your accounts, okay? This is behind the scenes. I know people, or someone who watches was asking me questions. And I asked, please don't put this stuff on my site because it can affect my whole business. It could affect my video, okay, or videos. And so please respect that. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it anymore, but the things I'm telling you, I fully researched. People don't know about these things because they have not been completed yet. They're in Congress being, put together right now. They have names. They have act. This is an example. It's not an exact one. I don't have it in front of me, but everything has a name in Congress. Everything they're working on, their rules or regulations or their new things that they're putting in place, and it'll be like Act, 176. So they put numbers to them. So how I do get my information is through AI, and I know how to get deep into AI, because if you just, when working with AI, you have to learn how to kind of, I hate to say manipulate, I don't think I'm that smart, but, at first they don't tell you anything. You have to keep digging and asking in different ways. They gave me the information and I just double checked it according to the acts and, what the names of these things that are being worked on. So, you can question it. Even I, even though I know it's there and I know it's being worked on, we're all so jaded and so tired and so beat up from, things that have we've had to deal with our whole lives, that it's just, incomprehensible. It's almost like, you know, I'm praying that this stuff happens, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, some of you might have just popped on here. You can watch yesterday's reading. At the end of the reading, I went into it. All right, so here I'm seeing, you know, a lot of choices being had. There's going to be a lot of choices. A lot of things are becoming available. A lot of things are going to benefit you. They're going to be free. Okay, there's going to be a lot of changes made in the very near future. Okay, when we get to be around that July 1st, July 4th date, things are going to start. You know, the things that I've been talking about for the past 2 years, the you know, the beneficial, what do I want to say, technologies. I always told you guys that they've been withheld from us for probably 80 to 100 years or more, some of them. All right. These things are going to start coming out like they're just now being invented, or being just coming out now. I don't think they're going to tell us that they withheld these things, or tell us anything about that. I don't think they're going to go into that. I think it's just too much for people. That is why everything's being done at a slow pace. All right. It's called self-disclosure. They can't just come out with all this shocking stuff. People will freak out. So it's like, you know, you're going to start reading about, I'm going for red light therapy. That's like very close to medbed technology, okay? I'm going to go and try that. That's supposed to be really good for aches, pains, hair growth, just a battery of things, all right? So, but anyway, you're going to start seeing these things. I see a variety of things, and a lot of things here with this Ten of Pentacles are just, they're going to amaze you, but a lot of these things are things that you've dreamt about, things that you've wanted since you were a kid, you know, just like fantasy stuff, right? Or they might be things you saw in a show years ago, that, you know, like Star Trek, things like that, that you just knew that it wasn't real. But guess what, guys? Those things are real. All right? Many of them are real. All right? So we have the Nine of Pentacles here. Nine of Pentacles, guys, this is about, you know, your wealth and prosperity and feeling independent. This is coming. That's why it's in the center. And they put things in the center. That's the strongest card. And it you know, qualifies for the most attention. The card in the middle is what they want us to really hone in on and focus in on each reading. Okay? It carries a lot of weight. And then these two cards at the ends in my reading are usually connected. All right? So you're going to start having choices that you never had before. And they're going to make you feel, well, the Nine of Pentacles are going to make you feel independent and successful and wealthy. All right? So then there's movement. Again, they're saying these things are already in the pipeline. They're already headed your way. Okay, so let's continue. I'm sorry about the background noise, guys. It's my noisy heater. I have to replace it, and I thought I shut it off. I forgot to shut it off. All right, so Eight of Cups. You guys are moving into this. All right, so listen carefully. This is what they're saying. They're saying that you can pretty much manifest anything right now in the frequency that your frequency, in other words, and the frequency in the ether coming from the Schumann resonance and all of these solar flares we've been taking a hit on, that we've been absorbing, that have been raising our frequency. Okay? You are now in a place, just the way the planets are aligned, where you can manifest anything. If you don't believe it, you won't manifest. Okay? You'll just keep cruising along in the third dimension. All right? If you give this some credence, that you have these intense, magnificently powerful gifts, you are so, you see the Strength card? Look at this, okay? You have opportunity everywhere you turn. Be careful what you're thinking about. That's how strong this is now, guys. You could be having a thought and it will appear within hours, minutes, hours, days, okay? So this is the Eight of Cups. You've already moved into this clarity, this part of your life now where everything, all of your gifts are so strong. You have this clear crystal clarity now on how to reap the benefits of opportunity. There's opportunity all around. This is your moot point, your strength, all right? Manifestation is your strength now, all right? So if you believe this in your heart, you've been working on yourself, you know you're moving out of that third dimension into the fourth and fifth, and you're wanting to live this beautiful, new, easy, prosperous life that we're all moving into, you will just continue to work on yourself. Wake up in a state of gratefulness. Keep seeing, keep focusing on the positive. Keep seeing things. Keep your intentions set to love and nurture yourself. All right? Never get to the point, guys, where you tell yourself you know everything or you're at the highest possible frequency you could be, because that's never going to happen, okay? We only learn because we're open-minded. We're open to continue to learn. People that think they know everything, there's no more room for them to learn. They don't, they know everything. So I'm not saying you guys are like that, but, just to get my point across. So guys, manifest your hearts out, and then tell me below the video what is happening for you with that. All right, have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.